What if I told you U.S. Supreme Court is now hearing a case that could decide whether a baby born in America is automatically a U.S. citizen? I'm Jing an immigration lawyer in the U.S. This is not a political slogan anymore. This is now a real Supreme Court case. And the outcome could affect not only undocumented families, but also many people living in the United States on student visas, working visas, and other temporary status. On April 1st, 2026, the Supreme Court heard arguments in the birthright citizenship case challenging President Trump's executive order. At stake, it's basic question: does American citizen depend on where the child is born or on the immigration status of the parents? At the hearing, the administration argued that 14th Amendment does not protect everyone born in the U.S. soil. Its position is that the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction of" should be read narrowly, focusing on the ideas like allegiance and the lawful domicile, rather than simply the physical birth in the United States. But several justices appears not so sure. Chief Justice Roberts pushed back on the idea that modern policy concerns could change the constitutional rule, making the point that even if the word has changed, it is still the same constitution. Justice Kagan suggested the government was advancing a highly revisionist theory, and Justice Gorsuch pressed hard on how the government's domicile test could even work in practice. Justice Kavanaugh also floated the possibility that the court could write a short opinion relying on existing procedure rather than reinventing the law. It's quite simple. The challengers, led by ACLU lawyer Cecily Wang, argued that Constitution, long-standing history, and the 1898 Supreme Court case United States versus Wonking Art all support the traditional rule. If you are born in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen with only very narrow historical exceptions. Why does this case matter so much? Because this is not just about undocumented immigrants. This order could also affect many families who are lawfully in the United States on temporary visas. And more broadly, the case asks a very basic question: does the citizenship depending on where the child is born or on the immigration status of the parents? AP reported that the result could affect more than 250,000 births a year. My takeaway is this: after the hearing, the administration appears to face an uphill battle. Nothing is certain until the opinion comes out, but the questioning suggested that several justices are not eager to let a president rewrite such a deeply rooted constitution rule by executive order. Many legal experts predict this case could be 7-2 or even 9-0 decision in favor of the ACLU opinion. This case is about much more than immigration policy. It is about whether the meaning of American citizen can be narrowed by executive power, or whether the Constitution still draws a line. I'm Jing an immigration lawyer. Hope it helps.